Welcome to day 30. We're on day 30 already, and the focus is on the core four. Today, specifically, we're going to focus on the body. We're going to do the first element of the core four, and being the basic tool that we create energy and power vitality in our life. Um, and once again, as we discussed yesterday, there's a scoring system that we use daily, and one of them involves fitness, right? The fact that we actually sweat the acts, we move our body to create a level of energy and power. And the way we're going to go about that is there's several things, right? We have the ability to use our body in a different way, right? We could do one of quite a number of things, but part of what we want to do in all of this is we want to create a number of things. We want to create, and vitality is a combination of things. It's not just can I run fast. There's also a component of strength. There's a component of endurance. There's a component of, especially when you get a little older, there's a component of flexibility and range of motion. There's all these things that we want to integrate into this fitness, but all of them uh, is to expand the body into a point of the sweat, right? So one of these is that we can run fast, right? We can create an element of speed, which is an important factor. Um, and I've done some of this. But what I've come to discover through this is that I probably haven't done enough weight. I probably haven't done some other things. So maybe in the course of a week, we will want to integrate this element of running fast. Okay, so the second element is running slow. That doesn't mean slow, but basically this encompasses the element of endurance, right? We don't necessarily want to run fast. We also want some endurance, something, a factor that we're going to want in almost any element of our life. We're going to want to be able to, number one, act fast in all areas of our life we want to create, but we also want endurance. We don't want to burn out in the first quarter. So this needs to be incorporated as one element of our body. Um, the next one is to lift heavy, lift, stretch, expand, and have the ability, and this applies really to all areas of our life, but we want to be able to do some heavy lifting in our business. We want to be able to have that capacity, and the body is where all of this starts, right? Um, Additionally, we want to do the opposite of that, right? We want to lift right. We want to have, again, it creates an element of endurance, and which we want to embrace. The next one is mobility. This is the one I referred to earlier, and this is probably one of my primary focus after quite a number of injuries, is mobility, right? Because we tend not to move in a way that it hurts, and over time we lose the ability and the range of motion. Should we not address that? Um, and this again applies to all areas of our life. And when we talk about mobility, and this is kind of representative of other things, we want to be able to move from this area to this area in business, from this area to this area. We want to create a sense of mobility not only in our mind, but it also promotes a sense of mobility in our minds. Um, Flexibility kind of comes into the same game, right? We want to have the probably overlaps with what I said earlier about range of motion, and obviously an important component as well. Um, the next element is it has to be fun. We have to enjoy it, or we won't do it. Our mindset, because the object of this whole thing is to gain power, and we don't gain power through torture, right? We gain power from doing the exercises, and we create an environment where it's fun, it's empowering, and we actually can appreciate the gains that we have. Um, and the next element, and this is one that I've whacked for many, many years. In fact, it was a source of pride, right? I only need 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And I did that for most of my life. And I was able to jump up in the morning, and I didn't realize, maybe till I got a little older, the benefit of just an extra hour. And while you are up and accomplishing, and there's a sense of pride in the idea that you get up at 4:44 every morning, the element that the importance is sometimes, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, right, said that if he was going to cut down a tree in 6 hours, he'd spend the first 5 sharpening the axe. And that is really what rest is going to do for you, right? It's going to make you highly efficient, alert, and able to absorb and function at a much higher rate. So, once again, the assignment is to teach it. If you can't teach it, you don't know it. If you don't know it, you can't live it. And follow through on the remaining items at the bottom of the page. And we will see you tomorrow.